Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Guys, if you want to be a part of the fastest growing financial community on Patreon, get yourself down to the first link in the description box and click on that Wealth Builders Financial Community Patreon link. It'll take you over to Patreon, and then all you got to do is sign up and come join the fastest growing financial community on Patreon. And then send me a direct message and let me know that you're one of us and that you're ready to go to work. That's where I'm giving out the real game. So if you're interested in that, and being a part of a couple of thousand other wealth builders, like I said, man, click on that first link down in the description box, which is that Wealth Builders Financial Community on Patreon link, and sign up and come join the team. Also, the good folks at Webull are giving out a cash bonus reward to anybody that opens up a new Webull brokerage account using that second link down in the description box. It'll give you all the details about the cash bonus reward. Now, of course, you got to make a deposit into your new brokerage account. But if you're willing to do that, the good folks at Webull are willing to give you a cash bonus. Don't sleep on that. Go check it out, guys. Well, all right, man. Y'all know from time to time I like to bring y'all something that I believe could potentially 100x. Now, this is not financial advice. I don't got no guarantees for you. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy on YouTube sharing an idea with you. Now, you guys who've been rocking with me for a while have heard me mention 100 bagger. And I've mentioned that in quite a few of my recent videos. And I know I've gotten some feedback from some of you guys saying, Richard, what is a 100 bagger? And I want to go ahead and walk you through what a 100 bagger is real quick. And then we're going to talk about this one tiny AI stock that I believe could be a 100 bagger. Now, again, I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm not an expert. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know if this will happen or not. But that's the reason I'm doing the video, is to give you my opinion on why I think it could happen, right? So let's just clear that up. I'm not an expert here. I'm just a guy on YouTube sharing an idea with you. But before we talk about that tiny AI stock, let's talk about what a 100 bagger is, because in my opinion, that's what I'm hoping this thing becomes so it can change my life forever. So here we go. In the investment world, a 100 bagger refers to a stock that returns $100 for every dollar invested. That's a 100 bagger. So it returns to a guy like me $100 for every dollar I invest. This means that a $10,000 investment in a 100 bagger stock would grow to $1 million. That's a 100 bagger. That's what I'm chasing on part of my portfolio, is I'm trying to find these companies, these small, tiny companies that can become a 100 bagger for me. And I'm taking a small portion of my portfolio and dedicating it to these type of little tiny AI companies, right? Identifying potential 100 bagger stocks. While there's no guaranteed method, certain characteristics are often seen in historical 100 bagger stocks, such as consistent growth, low starting valuations, like a low PE ratio, and often a small market capitalization below 500 million, which allows for rapid growth. Examples of companies that have achieved 100 bagger status include Monster Beverage and Apple, believe it or not, right? Apple was a 100 bagger. Strategies for investing in potential 100 baggers involve focusing on companies with high returns on capital, sustainable competitive advantages, strong growth prospects, and competent management. A long-term investment horizon is also critical or crucial, as it often takes many years to achieve such returns. It is important to remember that investing in potential 100-baggers carries risks, as small cap companies can be volatile and there's no guarantee of reaching this status. Patience and discipline are necessary to navigate market fluctuations and hold investments for long term. Finding 100-bagger stocks is challenging, but can be rewarding. Focusing on strong fundamentals and competent management can increase the chances of success, but it is vital to be aware of the risks and maintain a diversified portfolio. That's exactly what I just said. My goal here is to do what? Find me a few of these 100-baggers. But I'm gonna always be diversified, and I'm gonna always have a diverse portfolio that I invest my money in. Now, again, guys, this is not financial advice. This is just me giving you a little bit of background on why I'm introducing or sharing these little tiny AI stocks with you, because I'm looking for 100-baggers. And I've just walked you through what a 100-bagger is, the whole concept behind it. So let's move on. What's the name of this company? This tiny AI company. Here we go. It's called Vivacor Inc. That's the name of the company, Vivacor Inc. Let me give you the ticker symbol. V as in Victor, I as in inside, V as in Victor, K as in keep. That's the ticker symbol, right? Vivacor Inc. Now let's talk about who these guys are. Let's see here. Vivacor Inc. Let's talk about who these guys are. Vivacor Inc. is an integrated provider of sustainable energy transportation, storage, reuse, and mediation services. The company operates one of the largest fleets of oil-filled truck services in the continental United States. So that's who these guys are. Key aspects of Vivacor's business. Service is one of those key aspects of their business. So this is what they do. Vivacor offers a range of services, including crude oil and produced water gathering, storage, transportation, reuse, and remediation. The company's focus includes soil remediation and the extraction of hydrocarbons from contaminated properties. Another aspect of their business, operations. Vivacor's operations are primarily centered in the Permian and Eagle Ford basins. The company owns and operates strategically located pipeline injection stations in the Permian Basin. Technology, this is what I like. Here's where the AI part comes in, guys. Technology. Vivacor utilizes proprietary technologies, including its Remediation Processing Center, or RPC technology, for hydrocarbon extraction and soil remediation. That's the big key for me, is this technology that they use, this Remediation Processing Center, RPC. So what's their strategy? What's Vivacor's strategy? Vivacor's corporate mission involves developing, acquiring, and operating assets and technologies in the energy sector. The company aims to expand its integrated crude oil storage, logistics, and marketing value chains. What are the recent developments? They had some debt reduction. In July 2025, Vivacor sold its non-core water transportation units, generating approximately $11 million in net proceeds and eliminating about $59 million in debt. Streamlining the balance sheet, man. Getting rid of some of that debt. in my opinion, they're trying to get themselves poised to go higher. That's my opinion now. I'm not an expert. I'm just giving you my opinion. That's why they're looking on the balance sheet to do what? Get rid of some assets and pay off debt. Nice move on their part, right? Special dividend. Vivacor announced a special dividend to shareholders with a record date set for August 20th, 2025. Each shareholder will receive approximately 0.0079 shares of Adapti Inc. common stock per Vivacor share. They had a merger update. As of October 30, 2024, Vivacor provided an update on its anticipated merger with Empire Diversified Energy Inc., which was revised to the first quarter of 2025. So there you go. That's a little bit about who this company is. Now let's talk a little bit about the numbers. Currently right now, well, before we go into that, let me share with you what the market cap is. This is a $50.63 million market cap. So what does that tell you about this company? It's a micro company. It's not even a small cap yet. See, a small cap is 500 million to 2 billion. That's a small cap. Anything 0 to 500 million would be considered a micro, which is what Vivacor Inc. is right now. That's the reason why I think, in my opinion, there's potential for 100 bagger here. There's a potential for 100 bagger. You got to also understand the current administration that's in the White House right now, they're pro oil and gas. They're pro deregulating oil and gas. So that's a good news for any type of company that's in the energy, oil, gas industries. And Vivacor is, and they got that technology that we just talked about. So, potential, right? Potential. Not sure what will happen, but potential 100 bagger in my opinion. So, micro cap stock, very small company right now. 52-week high on the stock price, $2.29. That's the 52-week high. 52-week low, 55 cents, right? Currently right now, as I do this video, it's at $1.02. Opened at 99 cents. The high today was $1.14, and the low was 99 cents, right? So let's look at some recent numbers on this company to see, what we think. Let's look at some recent numbers on this company. So here we go. Financial performance, Q1 2025. Here's the financial performance, because that's a big one for me, right? I'm trying to figure out, can this little baby tiny AI stock grow revenue? Can it grow revenue? That's the key, right? How fast can it grow revenue quarter over quarter, year over year, and start doing what? Increasing that stock price, and starts doing what? Increasing that market cap, right? That's what's going to continue to drive this whole thing, this whole 100 bagger scenario that I'm looking for, right? So here we go. Financial performance Q1 2025. Revenue increased by 133% year over year to 37.3 million. Ding, 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 ding. For me personally, guys, and I'm not an expert, I'm just a regular guy out here trying to find a couple 100 baggers to throw in the portfolio. And again, my portfolio is going to be consists of about 5% of my portfolio will be in these 100 baggers. So I'm going to go out and take 5% of my portfolio and hunt 100 baggers over the next 2 to 3 years. I'm just going to hunt 100 baggers and take my chance. Obviously, there's a high risk that they won't make it, and I'm okay with that. That's why it's only 5% of my portfolio, not more, because I know it's very, very risky. But it's worth the risk. Big reward, requires big risk. That's the way I look at it. And the most important thing for me when I'm looking for these 100 baggers is revenue. And looks like these guys, at least in Q1 2025, had an increase of 133% year over year. I like that. So let's move on to the second one, which is gross profit. Gross profit increased by 345% year over year to 4.8 million. Now, guys, we're still talking about a micro company, so they're in millions, not billions, millions. But potentially, if they can keep elevating, potentially they may be able to get to billions of revenue and billions of gross profit. Right now, they're in the millions, but they're moving in the right direction, and I like that. Let's talk about adjusted EBITDA. Now, what is EBITDA? EBITDA is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. It's called EBITDA. So let's take a look at their adjusted EBITDA. It increased to 2.5 million. That's their adjusted EBITDA, guys. I still like that. What I'm seeing right now are all positive trends. I love it. Net loss, 7.5 million. Don't love that. Don't love a net loss of 7.5 million. But again, as I've told you guys in the past, when I do these videos about these little companies like this, a lot of these companies will have net losses for quite some time because they take all of their money and they do what with it? They put it in growth. They reinvest everything back into growth, into growing revenue, right? They take on investment. But they're growth. So here's the key. I'm okay with the net loss right now because they're doing what? They're growing top line. I know eventually if they can grow top line high enough, bottom line will be positive. But in the early stages, in my opinion, for me personally as an investor, what's more important to me? Bottom line or top line? To me, top line is more important when you're a growth company. Because at some point, if you can grow large enough, you can grow enough revenue, your bottom line at some point should be positive, and it should continue to grow positive, right? I'm okay in the early stages while they're trying to grow and gain market share and all this good stuff. I'm okay with them having a net loss as long as they're growing top line revenue, which they are. They're also improving their gross profit. That's good. They're also improving on their adjusted EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. So I'm okay with that. So here's a note. Vivacor's Q1 2025 financial results show a significant increase in revenue and gross profit attributed to the acquisition of Endeavor. Let me read that again. Vivacor's Q1 2025 financial results show a significant increase in revenue and gross profit attributed to the acquisition of I can't even pronounce the name of this thing. Let's see here. Let me try that one more time. Evendor entities, but also highlight a net loss due to increased operating expenses. So operating expenses obviously are increasing. So that certainly contributed to the net loss, right? The net loss of the company. So the company's focus on debt reduction and strategic expansion in the Perion and Eagle Ford basins indicates a commitment to future growth and profitability, right? So what they're trying to do is continue to grow, guys. Again, small company, but they're trying to grow. And that's the key, right? Trying to grow. Now, again, I think for me personally, it's worth me giving a a look at this company as one of my 100 bagger stocks that I'm going to be investing in. So let's talk about a little bit about some of the revenue, where some of the revenue coming from. So while Vivacor has agreements related to oil and gas remediation and asphalt production, it does not appear to have any direct, publicly disclosed government contracts. Now, again, that could be a windfall for them if they could get some of those contracts. But I'll have to keep an eye on them, right? So in the same vein as major defense contractors, right? So they would love to get some of those government contracts. Instead, their agreements are primarily with private companies like Ishit, Shire, and White Claw Crude. Vivacor does utilize technologies like their RPC plants and remediation projects, some of which may involve oil and gas operations on or near Native American lands, but these are not explicitly government contracts. So they got most of their revenue right now, guys, is coming from the private sector, right? Oil and gas companies and other things like that. One of the main things they do is their RPC, which is their remediation technology, right? So that's a big one for them. The key, though, is they got to keep growing the contract. They got to keep growing their private sector business. And if they can get in on some government contracts to lock in some guaranteed money, that would be amazing as well. We'll have to continue to watch this little company and see exactly what they can do. But as of right now, man, I like the progress. It's a dollar stock. So some people call that a penny stock. I call it a dollar stock. But I think there's potential for this thing to go bigger. Remember, they mentioned when we talked about 100 baggers, what is a 100 bagger? Remember, Monster started off basically very similar to just a company out here trying to grow, right? That's what Monster Beverage did. They were a 100 bagger. One of the largest, probably the third largest company in the world right now, Apple, started off the same way. They became a 100 bagger, right? So I don't sit here and say that a company will or will not become a 100 bagger. My goal is to go out and do the research, and then if I like the value proposition that they present to me as a potential investor, then I go ahead and pull the trigger. I'm not going to sit here and try to determine whether Vivacor is going to be a monster company or not. I hope they do. I think they got some good progress going right now. I mean, in my opinion, they got some decent progress going right now. Whether they can sustain that progress and can continue elevating up, we'll have to see, right? We'll have to see. I'm going to have to keep my eye on them and continue to watch them to see if they can continue to elevate up. But right now, at $1 per share, and all I'm trying to figure out is can they become a 100 bagger, right? Again, if I were to make for every dollar investment I make, I get a $100 return. That's a 100 bagger, right? So for every dollar I put into Vivacor, potentially, right? Potentially, no guarantees, nothing's guaranteed, could lose it all, right? That's the way this thing works in the stock market, especially when you're messing around with these very, very tiny companies. They could go either way. But potentially, if I were to be able to put $1 in there and I could get $100 back on that dollar, then that potentially is a 100 bagger for me. And that's what I want to do in my portfolio with companies like Vivacor, is I want to be able to look for these little companies, these little tiny AI companies, because of course AI is what I think is the future. So any of these companies that are tied into artificial intelligence and technology, I like to look at it because I think that's the future. So if these guys can get it right, keep growing the revenue, right, continue to maintain and manage the expenses, at some point they get to break even, right, where their revenue and their expenses kind of match up, and then continue accelerating the revenue, but continue managing the expenses lower, and that's where your net profit will get better. You won't have a net loss. At some point, you'll have a net profit. And that's where you want to go. So I think I'll keep watching Vivacor. Again, I'm no expert on Vivacor. It's just a company that I ran across. And I looked at it and I said to myself, okay, yeah, it's $1. It could go either way. It's $1 a share, but goodness gracious, man, if they can get this thing right, they may be $100 a share in one day. Who knows? And guess what? What if they do that, Richard, over the next 5 years, man? What if they do it over the next 10 years, man? You know, let's say you go take, you know, they're $1 a share. Let's say you, Richard, let's just say hypothetically, Richard, you buy 10,000 shares. That's a $10,000 investment. Now, this thing 100 bags, guys. On my $10,000 investment, if it 100 bags, if it becomes a 100 bagger, then that $10,000 potentially could turn into $1 million. That's the definition of a 100 bagger, right? Right? I get $100 on every dollar I invest. So my goal here as I locate these potential 100 baggers, and again, guys, this is very, very, very risky. And I'm not telling you to do any of this because this is not financial advice. It's just me sharing my idea with you, how I'm trying to build my wealth and get the financial freedom and get the passive income. I'm not telling you to do anything. What I'm telling you is if you're not comfortable making your own financial decisions, please go see and talk with a licensed financial advisor that can help you make decisions. I can't help you make decisions. All I can do is just show you ideas and present to you ideas that potentially I may consider. I'm not saying I'm going to even do it. I'm just saying that's my train of thought if I'm thinking about what I'm trying to get accomplished. So that's where I'm at, guys, on this particular little baby AI stock. Will it do well? The numbers right now say in Q1 of 2025, it's starting to improve. Long ways from being a 100 bagger, right? Long ways from that, but at least you can see some improvement, man. And I think if you can see some improvement, at least for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, if I can see some improvement like that, and I'm willing to take the risk, which I'm okay with that. I'm okay with taking a risk on certain things, right? So I'm okay with that. So my goal here is to just share my ideas with you guys. It's not to be trying to be some financial advisor. It's not, because I'm not that. I'm just a regular guy on here that likes to come on my YouTube channel on a daily basis and share ideas. Share with you guys the things that I'm looking at, right? I'm just trying to build my wealth just like most of you guys and gals out there. Y'all are just trying to build your wealth, taking your income that you earn, whether it be from your job, whether it be from your business. You're trying to take that active income and find somewhere to park it that it grows over time so you can get passive income. That's all I'm trying to do. And I just think this Vivacor Inc. right here is interesting. So I'm gonna continue to do a little bit more deep dive on it. I'm gonna continue watching it. I'm gonna look at the Q2 numbers and see what the Q2 numbers look like when they come out. I don't think they came out yet, but let me look on here and see if we got any Q2 numbers. Looks like we do got some Q2 numbers. Let me look at them here. So here's the March 2025 Q2 numbers. Revenue, 133% increase year over year, right? Now, of course, the net income is down. It's down 299%. So it's a negative. So, but again, we talked about that. Same with profit margin. Profit margin is down negative 71.57% year over year. So you got net income down and you got net profit margin way down. And again, I'm no expert here, guys, and I'm not trying to be one. I'm just telling you, in my experience, when you got these little small companies like this, their number one priority, in my opinion, is to grow revenue. They believe if they can grow revenue high enough, then in their opinion, and in my opinion, if they can grow this revenue high enough, net income will turn around and then net profit margin will turn around. But the goal is the race to how high can we grow this revenue, and at some point they hit a break even where their revenue and their expenses are 50-50, and then they continue to accelerate and revenue goes higher, but expenses stay lower. Now you can change net profit and net profit margin, right? But you got to have revenue to do that. And I think that's what they're focused on right now. So we'll continue to watch them and see how they do going forward. We'll continue to watch these guys, or at least I'll continue to watch them. I'm not asking you guys to watch anything. This is just for informational purposes only here on my YouTube channel. It's not really directed at you guys doing anything you don't want to do. So just keep that in mind, guys, okay? Well, I appreciate y'all, man, for checking in for this few minutes to hear about Vivacor Inc. and why I am considering it, looking at it very, very strongly. It's about $1 a share right now. Obviously, long way to go before they can become anything, but hey man, it looks interesting to me. I'm gonna keep deep diving on it, doing the homework on it, and we'll see if we add it to the big boy portfolio or not. Like I said, man, drop me some comments and just let me know what you think about Vivacor Inc., right? What do you think about it? And again, the ticker symbol is V as in Victor, I as in inside, V as in Victor, K as in keep. So go check it out and then get back to the video and drop me a comment and let me know what your thoughts are about Vivacor Inc. I've given you what my thoughts are and what my opinion is. Again, highly risky, no guarantee of anything happening with this thing. Could go to zero, who knows? But again, for you people out there that are not comfortable making your own financial decisions, you should go see a professional financial advisor to help walk you through and guide you through whatever you're trying to get accomplished in your financial game plan. I told you what I'm trying to get accomplished, right? I'm trying to get to financial freedom, passive income, and grow my wealth. That's what I'm trying to get done. Like I said, if you want to be a part of the Wealth Builders financial community on Patreon, that's where I'm giving out the real game. Get yourself down to the description box, first link. Click on that Wealth Builders financial community Patreon account. Sign up. Come join us. We love to have you on our team. Also, the good folks at Webull are offering that cash bonus reward. Second link down in the description box. Click on that Webull link, open up your new account, and put you some money in your account. And potentially, man, you qualify for some cash bonus reward. But all the details are in the link, so click on that second link. Appreciate y'all, man, for rocking with me for a few minutes today. I hope you guys are doing something to chase your financial freedom and get yourself to that passive income thing. I hope you are, because we all know, man, without having some assets that generate income for us, we're gonna have to work for the rest of our lives. And I don't want to work for the rest of my life. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I need to do in order to build my wealth and get to that passive income thing. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. And if you're rocking with me for the first time, please consider smashing that like button, consider subscribing, consider hitting that post notification bell so you know every time I'm on the airways of YouTube. Also, man, thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.